What's up guys, how are you? Now you know that I've been practicing with normal people for a long time with the script of normal people, and I've been practicing and learning English with normal people. But as of today, I'm gonna take a little break from normal people and I'm gonna start practicing with Before Sunrise. I don't know if you ever heard that Before trilogy. If you haven't watched Before Sunrise, Before Sunset and Before Midnight, I highly recommend you go watch it. Like, it's one of the best trilogy I ever seen. And also, I watched this trilogy like a few months ago and I fell in love with this. I fell in love with this movie. And the thing that struck me about this movie is how realistic the dialogues are. Like in this movie, you can see that if you ever watch this movie, you will see that the dialogues are super realistic. And when the dialogues are realistic in movies and TV shows, that means you should especially practice with those TV shows and movies, because the dialogues are so realistic. So basically you can get those dialogues from movies and TV shows, and you can apply those dialogues by practicing with scripts. So this is what I do. So basically I choose and pick the TV shows or movies that I find really important to improve my English, and I especially pay attention to dialogues in the movies and TV shows, because if dialogues are so realistic, that means this movie and this TV show will be so efficient and so good for my English learning process. Aside from the dialogues, also this movie is great, especially if you're in your 20s and if you're in your early 30s. You will love this trilogy so much, because this trilogy covers a lot of different topics. And as of today, I will start practicing with Before trilogy. It's right now 8th July and 9 p.m. right now. As of tomorrow, I will start to practice actively with Before trilogy. But of course, I did some preparation. I watched the movie a few times and I got the script of the movie. And the thing is, you will see that I'm gonna insert some of the things. I underlined some of the lines that I find really important from the movie, in this movie. And also guys, there are some words that I came across for the first time in my life, in my English learning journey, that I don't know those words meanings, and I'm gonna check and see those words meanings, and I'm gonna learn those words meanings. And for instance, there is this word nullify. How do you pronounce it? Look at it guys. I'm gonna show it. Look, do you see that? Wait. Supposedly, men lose their ability to higher pitch sounds.
And women eventually lose hearing in the low end.
Women eventually lose hearing in the low end.
I guess they sort of nullify each other. For instance, for the first time I came across this word, nullify. I don't know the meaning of nullify. And so for instance, there is this another word, crude. Like crude, I don't know the meaning of crude. I don't know the meaning of meaning of nullify. And there are some other words that I didn't know before. And yeah, we're gonna talk about these words tomorrow or the day after tomorrow while I'm practicing. But first of all, I need to practice with the script. And while I'm practicing with the script, I'm gonna repeat the lines obviously without looking at the script. It's time for a night walk. You know, it's so hot in the morning, so basically during the summer I take a walk during the nights. At nights. Right now I listen to this YouTube video, Emma Nielsen's YouTube video. The reason why I listen to her videos is because one of the hardest things about English is listening. Not speaking, but for me, listening. The reason why is because, for instance, I don't have any trouble understanding American accent, okay? I can easily understand American accent. I don't have any trouble with that. But for instance, Australian accent
that you see, and you guys just need to know that. And like, I've fully had to coach her because Liam is usually my Instagram photographer, and it's like it took me a lot of work.
I've been yelled at so many times.
You know, when I don't listen to Australian accents, when I don't expose myself to Australian accent for so long, I end up struggling with understanding Australian accents.
Does Jacob Jones even know what a crawdad is? I now do, like a little lobster thing. I might be wrong there. I ate a lot of crawfish when I was filming in New Orleans.
For instance, I can easily understand this British accent, Daisy's British accent, but when it comes to listening to this YouTuber's accent,
I know I've said that in the past, but I don't know if I've actually like said that.
If I don't expose myself to her, if I don't listen to her videos in a row, I struggle with understanding her accent, you know? So basically, in order to listen to different dialects of English or different accents in English, you need to expose yourself to those accents constantly. Otherwise, you really struggle with that. This is why I listen to her videos, for instance.
In order to understand Australian accents, I either listen to Margot Robbie, I watch her talk shows, I listen to her talk shows, or I listen to this, YouTuber. So it makes it easier for me to, understand it, especially if I didn't listen to it for a long time. So not being able to speaking doesn't concern me. Like, I'm not afraid of not being able to speak, or when it comes to speaking, but not being able to understand the person that I'm listening to does concern me, because what am I gonna do if I come across someone who speaks with an different dialects of British accent or Australian accent? Like, I can make them stop all the time, or I can make them like, oh, speak slower please, so that kind of like concerns me. That makes me like worried a little bit.
Do you have any idea what they were arguing about?
Do you have any idea what you were arguing about? Okay.
Do you speak English?
Yeah. No. I'm sorry, my German is not very good.
Do you speak English? Do you have any idea what they were arguing about? Do you speak English? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. My German is not very good. I'm sorry. My German is not very good.
I guess. Nature's way of allowing couples to grow old together without killing each other.
I guess nature's way of allowing couple to grow old together without. I love this expression. I guess nature's way of allowing couple to grow old together without killing each other.
And of course you don't speak any other language, right?
Yeah. I'm the crude, dumb, vulgar American.
So, and you don't speak another language, right? Yeah, I get it. I am the crude, dumb, vulgar American.
I took French for 4 years in high school. When I first got to Paris, I stood in line at the metro station. I was practicing.
Also, I took French in high school. When I first got to Paris, I stood in line at the metro station. I was practicing.
And I get up there, and I look at this woman, and my mind goes completely blank.
So I get up there and look at this woman. And my mind goes blank. I get up there and look at this woman. This is so relatable. Haven't we all been there because of the education system? This is kind of like a universal problem, okay? This is not specific to Turkey. This is not specific to America. This problem is not specific to any country. Every people who are from all over the world, many people who are trying to learn a language other than their own language struggle with the same problem. Language learning system is so bad in many countries, and this is not unique to America, United States. This is not unique to Turkey or Poland or Italy. We all go through the same struggle. We all struggle with the same problem. Language teaching system is so bad. You take hours and hours of classes of English or French or Spanish in school, and you get nowhere. So basically, if you take years and years of language classes, English classes for years and years, and if you fail to learn English, don't feel bad about yourself. It's not your problem, okay? It's the education system. It's the system that we are exposed to. It's the education system problem, okay? It's not your fault, okay? It's a teaching problem. Because there is no creativity. Learning language process needs to be very creative and also emotional. Emotion, guys. You need to be creative. You need to feel things when it comes to learning language, okay? What kind of ideas? I want to hear one, so yeah, tell me. What kind of ideas? Yeah, you want to hear one? Tell me. Alright. I have this idea, okay, for a television show. Guys, this is minute 7, so I went through 7 lines so far. I am at the minute 7, and I want to stop here because I got tired. It's almost like... Okay, I'm just gonna stop here. So I'm just gonna stop here and watch the first 10 or 15 minutes of this episode before I go to bed while I'm having my iced tea, okay? Launch car.
Okay.
Launch car.
Look, I was thinking about going to the lounge car.
Lounge.
So you come with me anytime soon.
So how do you speak such good English?
I went to school for a summer in Los Angeles.
It's fine here? Yeah, it's good.
How do you speak such good English? How do you speak such good English?
How do you speak such good English?
How do you speak such good English? I love this emphasis. How do you speak such good English?
And of course, you don't speak any other language, right?
I'm the crude, dumb, vulgar American who doesn't speak any other languages, who has no culture, right?
I'm the crude, dumb, vulgar American who doesn't speak another language and who has no culture. Crude person, what does that mean? If someone is considered crude, that means this person is kind of like rude. And for instance, you know, the crude person is very rude and who doesn't have manners and who is not polite, so he doesn't know how to act in social settings. You're going to restaurants with your friends and there's this one person in this friend group who speaks very loudly in a very unsophisticated way, who makes offensive jokes or who makes inappropriate jokes. Basically, he doesn't speak appropriately. He speaks inappropriately. So this person is kind of like very rude person. This person is very crude person because he doesn't or she doesn't know how to act in the social settings, and he makes jokes that he shouldn't make those jokes because you're in an environment where those jokes are considered inappropriate.
He's one of those men who is explosively sexually inappropriate with everyone, but makes you feel bad if you take offense because he was just being fun.
Yes, you pop to the loo, pull down your knickers, and then I will come in and fuck you.
The other word is vulgar. I know what vulgar means, and this is where I want to talk about my way of learning English. Like for instance, vulgar, okay, this word. Now, I don't know how to explain the meaning of this word. The reason why I don't know how to explain the meaning of this word because I didn't memorize the definition meaning of this word. I always say those things to you guys. I don't memorize the definition of the words. I learn always words with context. For instance, when I was practicing with House of Cards, that was the first time I came across this word vulgar, and that was the time I learned the meaning of vulgar. But I remember the scene in House of Cards. Like there's this guy says it's vulgar to the county, it's vulgar to the county or something like that. I can't quite remember the line, but I remember this guy on TV.
I've been saying for years that we should tear it down. It's vulgar, it's an embarrassment to the county.
And the story was, in this scene, there's this picture, it's like an orange thing in the middle of nowhere. For some people, it kind of reminds this genitals, you know. In this context, this picture, this orange thing, is vulgar to the county, to the people who live there. When you say something is vulgar, that means it's offensive or it's not suitable socially. This picture is very ugly, it's inappropriate, and it shouldn't be there because it kind of like reminds genitals for some people, and this is not the right place, you know, this shouldn't be there. So that was the time I learned the meaning of vulgar. Always remember that. I first remember the story, not the word. When I remember the story, I can understand, I can sense the meaning of the words.
All this mundane, boring thing everybody has to do every day of their fucking life.
If something is mundane, that means it's repetitive, it's boring. Let's say every single day you wake up in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and then you have your breakfast, you brush your teeth, and you go to work, and then you come home from work, and then you eat your dinner, and then you go to bed. Every day you do the same things, those repetitive same things. There is nothing going on, there is nothing new going on in your life. Everything's repetitive, everything's so boring. So that means it's mundane. It's a very mundane life, you know. It's very boring, it's very repetitive. If your life isn't exciting, if your life is not interesting, you can say, oh, my life is so boring, so repetitive, it's so mundane.
They complain. You know, even when they're wrong, it's this passive-aggressive shit, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm one of those guys. That's me. You know, so think of this as time travel. It would start with a guy waking up in the morning and, you know, taking a long shower, eating a little breakfast, making a little coffee, you know, and reading the paper.
It will start with a guy waking up in the morning, taking a long shower and eating a little breakfast, making a little coffee, eating a little breakfast, making a little coffee. And it will start with a guy waking up in the morning, taking a shower, making a coffee, making a breakfast, drinking coffee, and reading the newspaper.
Wait. All those mundane, boring thing everybody has to do every day of their fucking life.
Well, I was gonna say the poetry of day-to-day life, but you know, you say it the way you say it, I'll say it the way I say it.
Wait. All those mundane, boring things that everybody has to do every day of their fucking life. Wait. All those boring things that everybody has to do every single day of their fucking life. Everybody has to do every day, every single day, every day of their fucking life. I was gonna say the poetry of day-to-day life, but yeah, you say it your way, I'll say it my way. You say it your way, I'll say it my way. I was gonna say, you know, the poetry of day-to-day life, but I was gonna say the poetry of day-to-day life, but you say it your way, I'll say it my way. I like it, okay.